over times. You couldn't tell. I kind of had it in the back of my mind that I was probably not going to get sub 50 without getting that on first try. Um, so I did practice it off screen, and then again because it has been a minute since yeah, and then the and you know, if I'm trying it, if I'm trying an attempt, do it until I get it, you know. And if I'm over time, I just probably reset after that. But decided to redo any percent normal. I mean, 90% normal is one of the more popular categories anyways. I've been going back places. Anyways, or whatever. Sucks because, you know, my time was actually slower than a couple of people who didn't do the acid worm skip. My previous PB for normal mode, even though that my easy mode one was quite a bit faster than that. It was sub 50, you know, it was 1-2 minutes faster than 50 minutes, but you know, I mean, I was gonna try and do better runs anyways eventually. Whenever I had more time, I decided to do this just because of some of the reasons that I said. And I have a little time, had a little time. Plus, I guess another reason was because of, you know, me getting moved back places, the competition, you know. And some of those people are actually people I have a potential of beating, but or had. You know, before I got sub 50, this is sub 50, but I would have been fine with something under 50 minutes, I mean over 50 minutes, like by 20 seconds or something, but, you know, because of the frame rate issues, but, yeah. I wanted to try and do this within one day. I thought it would be a bit easier, I suppose, and it wasn't. So I thought that I would try to get as good as a run off as quickly as I could within that day, hopefully, and get something. And I got that on first try, so it's like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get this. The acid worm skip, so I mean, I got it on first try on my previous PB, but there were a lot of other things that I do in this that I save a lot of time on. Like, there's a super missile that's slower than like over a minute slower than this other super missile. So that I got in normal mode is kind of dumb for me to get that one. But I mean, I suppose you can make it as fast, just about. But you have to know this shine spark that's really hard to time. I mean, you almost have to be frame perfect. And there's another shine spark method, and I was doing that, but doing it that way is a minute slower. I didn't really need 6 supers from Mother Brain. I don't really need 6 supers now like I did before either. I mean, I've done so much harder stuff since then, like 9% normal. I finished it before I made this, but the last time I did the PB was like 6 months ago, so nah. Sub 50 is yeah. Still faster than what I normally do there with the wall jumping. A second or two, because if I'm late, well, if I'm early, then I have to power grip, but because of these weird issues that I'm having with recording with this new headset, I mean, it's set up differently. I had to have it set up differently in order for it to work. Unlike the old headset that I had, this one uses a headphone jack and a mic jack. Whatever you, I think there is such I think you could call it that. The other one that I had a USB end on it, so, and this one goes through 2 different sounds, 2 different you can adjust the audio for the mic as well as just the audio from the headset, the headphone part of it. I swore I remember being able to do that with my other one. It's weird, but maybe there's a different one. I don't remember. I mean, I'm fairly sure that's the only one I've had for a while, but maybe it was a different. I don't know. I don't remember. This shows my potential best. Not what I actually did on Escape 2. 350 was better than 354 for my old PB. I think Internorfair was faster as well. Just by a few seconds, but my Inter Ridley is really good compared to my last one. It's partly probably because of the power grip. Well, no, because of the high jump, but I did go through that mini boss fight, I guess you could call it. A lot quicker than I did before. Wow, I actually thought it was later. Maybe it's because it's storming outside. I don't know. 2:32 Central Daylight Time? I don't remember which one it was. It was Standard and Daylight. We go between that because of Daylight Savings Time, but... I did Ridley a lot better this time. A lot quicker too, but I mean the way I did him, there's potential for worse drops, but his super missile drop seems to be a lot higher than Kraid's. So I guess it's not that big of a deal because I just got some. Rip. Time save with the high jump. Without it, I mean. It's probably part of it, but probably could have done it with 2 considering that's 9% normal. But, at least. I mean, I did easy mode, 80% easy with 1 air tank from my memory. And I had a really good final boss fight. Best I've had with that much equipment, but quick, really quick too, but I'm probably unlikely to do this for 100% normal because the time I got. I mean, I am pretty sure if I tried harder, I could get sub 1 hour and 30 minutes, but I really don't feel like trying it right now. Besides, it's probably harder to do than this in terms of speed. It's mostly what it is. There's how many items you have to get, but it's weird how I didn't have more experience with 100% runs, and I'm worse at it. But yet I'm the same way with Super Metroid and out of the runs that I did, well, out of the well, I've tried an 80% run for Super Metroid before in my own time without a timer, and let's just say the best I've done for 100% looks better, but of course, for both runs, I have you know, there are a lot of other videos I was making about sequence breaks that I didn't do in those runs that if I had more practice with, I would have probably done them and got a much faster time, but besides, I was doing that without a timer, you know, so I didn't really feel like trying to do that well. Then I was well aware I needed to have a timer and all that stuff. The difference between in-game time and real time. By that point, I mean, some of the runners that are ahead of me can't even wall jump. Some kind of can, but it's probably because of Super Metroid. That's the reason why. Because wall jumping is so much more useful in that game, but. The only time wall jumping really is a big thing is probably like during the stealth section in this game, but although it can help for time saves and earlier on, just not nearly as much, nearly as useful. I mean, there's a lot more potential for time saves earlier on anyway, so with just anything else. I didn't save exactly a minute, but that was because I did lose some time back there to like I'm so used to calling them zoomers, but they're like so many people call them gamers. I don't know if there's, you know, a Metroid Prime, the gamers in that game, they're they're later evolutions of the zoomers, and they can only be destroyed by missiles or plasma shots, and they're completely invulnerable to just about anything else. And gamers in this game are perfectly susceptible to anything if they're really called gamers, so. I mean, Metroid Prime did come later, and there is all that stuff about it not being canon, supposedly, but how it fits into the Metroid timeline, you know. I didn't mean to waste that super. That Metroid, though, gave me 2 super drops, so I'm fine. Building back to full. It's probably another thing that kind of helps. Me having a lower capacity than I originally did in terms of supers and definitely missiles. And me clearing out those Zabatites and then coming back in here to farm. And then going back in there because they're all cleared. They'll still be cleared if you leave the room, but 20 missiles is enough because I have 4 supers. Got that shine spark off. I did that Torian really well, so surprisingly. Only 2 seconds. Oh. Actually, it's more like 37. Almost. Seconds. Besides, maybe if I keep doing this, I can be 69th place or whatever for like a couple of days, you know. Again and again, you know. I mean, I won't get it like um this time around, but the place. Clearly I failed again. Because I'm too good, you know. Apparently. For it. But then again, getting 69th place is the next best thing from getting first place, I guess. I don't know. So, it's bad, you know. I guess. Still didn't get it. Definitely not getting it anytime soon. That wall jump there just didn't want to come out. Sometimes that'll happen, but I'm not exactly perfect. I am good at it. Well, sometimes I'll like miss 1 out of 50, you know. Yeah, if I'm pause buffering, I notice if I don't get it with on those first two laser blasts, it's probably gonna take a minute, or I die if I'm that low on health. Because of that, and I was probably a little slower. Because I um didn't want to be too perfect this time around on the stealth section. I mean, I don't. I mean, 10 seconds. More like 12 seconds. Obviously. This is the super I should have got. And I come over here for this one because I've been playing a little too much on 9% normal. I was so used to like not having a high jump because I'm jumping so high it was throwing me off, so I thought having a couple of extra hits might help. And those supers are right there, so 2 free ones in Chizodia or whatever that are even quicker than the one I got in on my previous PB. And a lot easier, at least. You just barely caught me there. I always go that way because it seems to be a lot easier to not get hit by any pirate or the puffers. It's mostly because of the puffers. Hey, what happened? I thought 80% I thought 80% hard was gonna be your last run. There's another. I guess I wasn't sure if I wanted to refill. Could have just used that super, saving a couple of seconds, but I think it should be obvious at this point that I'm not going to be doing redoing 100% normal anytime soon. I mean, I did try, but the footage messed up like halfway through. For some reason it cut off. I don't know why half of the footage just didn't record. I mean, I'll show you the spot that that didn't record in this other video that I had planned, but if anybody on speedrunning.com cares to watch it, but skill related. That's not enough for you to not want to watch. I mean, if that's enough, not enough for you to want to watch. If there isn't enough, I guess. One, two, and there's the third one. I think I grabbed that eighth one. If I didn't have that time save in Torian, I wouldn't have had sub 50. A little lucky again. You haven't seen my other once my other stuff it goes up, or if you haven't seen it already, then you should know what I'm. Yeah. It's actually 5 seconds left before 50 minutes. 3630. 25.